We are here with Dr. Haritha Chiluka. Dr. Haritha is a certified associate chronic healer. Her doctorate in life sciences background, together with chronic healing, has greatly enriched her understanding of complex health conditions. She helps women with chronic illness towards wellness, and today she's going to talk to us about the link between emotions and chronic disease. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Haritha.
Thank you, Alison. Thank you. So, do we have pranic healers here or non-pranic healers also in this session? That's okay. So, many of us know that, how many agree that our psycho-emotional status health affects our physically, right? So we commonly say that, he stressed himself to sickness, or he was so stressed that he couldn't sleep all night. So we intuitively say that, but when it comes to complex disease conditions, we often don't give that much consideration. So, but everybody experienced it, like during your first date. If you remember your first date or first interview, you went through all that, heart flutter, sweating, blushing, and all, right? So, and it was reported, interestingly, it was reported that there is called Monday morning heart attacks. So majority of heart attacks happen on Monday morning at 9 a.m. So it's something related to like the work stress, or they're not happy with the work they do. So it's that affecting their health. So no other species in the world has that, that at a particular time having so many heart attacks. So it's interesting point to note that how our work affects our health. Also, like how this happens, you must have heard some people complain, like they have the physical pain, chronic pain or irritable bowel, but they run through all the tests and they don't find any the cause according to medically. But these are called functional disorders. So these also have these emotional causes behind them, but they could not detect any, like in the lab work, or any virus or bacteria. So, and the doctors or the people say that it's all in your head, there's nothing wrong physically. So head or mind, as they say. So what is this mind? Like it's called the mind, or this mind is present all over the body, like not just in the head. So our entire body is a mind, and hence it's called mind body connection, or some call it body mind. So, and this has like our mind has the conscious part, also the unconscious part. The conscious part is the things which we do with awareness, like setting goals, priorities, your targets, everything comes under the conscious goal. The unconscious goals is that which happens without our conscious effort. Like it has the 4 functions, like the blood flow, it controls blood flow, respiration, heart rate, and all. The second function is that it stores emotions, behaviors, like knowledge. All that is stored knowledge. Like if you learn swimming, even in your childhood, never forget that. So all that is stored in your unconscious mind. And the third function is the flow of prana, or the life force, which we call it. The fourth one is that it protects our harm from any harm or danger. So this important function is what is behind most of the emotional causes of the disease. So our unconscious mind, in an effort to protect us from harm, danger, it hides away some of our emotions, like anger, fear, phobias, which happen in your childhood, or it even will absorb some of this through our surroundings or people around, right? So how the unconscious mind protects us from danger is through 3 mechanisms. Like it either suppresses, or in a denial mode, like resisting the emotion, the fear. Sometimes we go through the severe trauma, and we think we go into denial mode. Like when the start of this pandemic happened, everybody was in denial mode. Similar such situations. And the other one is the limiting beliefs. So usually limiting beliefs happen in the childhood, like if a child is growing up in a family with the parents having emotional issues, so the child grows up thinking that the relationships are not happy, so it's not for me or something like that. And sometimes we like lack of self-worth, it may tend to some self-worth issues, or also like perfectionism issues, because if the parent had always targeting for high grades or something, so they end up having that low self-worth issues. So the other one is the denial or resisting mode. When this happens, like when we go through stress and all, imagine our body to be like a toothpaste tube. So we stuff and stuff more and more, and don't take time to take the lid off or relax, unwind, process the emotions. So what happens in due course of time, it can no longer take the tube, or the body can no longer take, so it has to come out some way. So it bursts out, or it leaks through the weakest spot in the body. So that is the weakest organ which gets affected in your body. So if you could find some medicine for that, which if you could recover with that, but if the underlying root cause is not addressed, it like if you patch up this part, but it starts to leak up some another weakest organ. So that's the reason why some people complain like chronic conditions are one after the other, the multiple chronic conditions, because the underlying emotional root is not addressed there. Just popping pills does not help always. So for example, like if a woman having marital issues is smoking and she had a lung cancer, and what would be the cause of her lung cancer? Is it genetic, or is it marital issues, or is it smoking? And if in case that woman undergoes surgery and her lung is removed, so it doesn't solve the actual issue, that is the marital issue relationships. So she may have some other health issue after that, because the underlying uh, relation issue is still there. So the treatment has to be done considering the emotional aspects also, not just the physical aspects. So how these emotions affect is that each emotion triggers a release of neuropeptide, or called chemical messengers. So they go through entire body and go to the organ and produce the physical reaction. So the interesting point is that our unconscious brain does not differentiate real from imagined. So even if your person is watching TV or dramas or the news, we go through the same roller coaster of emotions. So many people have, while you watch a drama, we laugh, we cry, So if you are watching horror movies or too sad movies, that does affect you. We think it doesn't, but it does affect you. So it contaminates your energy body. So they have found out that it's not the feeling, the trauma or phobia or anger that is the issue. Uh, it is resisting to feel the emotions is the problem. So even just being aware of these feelings helps us in overcoming the health issues. So just not resist and process it, sit with it, or if you need to cry, take a cry, talk to your people. So how pranic healing helps is all emotions and thoughts are nothing but energy. So they have, and pranic healing is an energy healing modality which removes these negative thoughts and emotions and cleanses our aura. Because the negative thought forms, negative emotions, they disrupt the energy flow or the prana of the body. So when this happens, if it happens in the smooth muscles like intestines, it may cause the person may suffer with intestinal irritable bowel. Or if it happens in the airway passages, they may end up with asthma or migraine. If it happens in blood vessels, sometimes if it happens in skeletal muscles, they have chronic pain like back pain, spondylitis, sciatic, and all. It so unless this is addressed, the emotional aspect is addressed, they will never find the complete cure. Like it's just addressing the symptoms, and it comes back and again and again. So with pranic healing, like since it's an energy healing modality, we disintegrate all these emotions, energies. Thereby the pranic flow is restored. So the healing happens. Oh, do you have any questions?
I do. So, in your experience, what proportion, approximately, of physical disease, chronic disease in particular, is linked to an emotional cause? Is it like most, or is it sort of a minority? You know, how common is it?
The majority of the chronic conditions have, like, I don't have the percentage, but majority of the like chronic conditions, which if they are suffering for more than 3 months, they have the emotional aspect. Sometimes if they complain of simple shoulder pain, but it's just not the shoulder physical pain, it's just the cause. They do undergo the work stress, or some unexpressed emotions, which is the cause for especially the thyroid. The common is the shoulder neck pain.
So 3 months, after beyond 3 months means it's probably complicated.
Yeah, like generally the term for chronic is anything which is affecting for 3 months or beyond. So sometimes it's like the condition may not be existing for 3 months, but it still has emotional aspect. Like see, if your children are going to exam, they may have develop cold, fever, something like that, because due to exam stress, need not be physical thing.
So somebody who maybe is in their 60s or 70s and all their life has had something or another,
Yes.
some physical problem or another, is that person still treatable or really not, because they've had this thing going on for so long? And
Yeah, it can be treatable. Like there's nothing like untreatable, but the how much the person is able to let go of the feelings or the abuse. You know, we in pranic healing we have the techniques like forgiveness and all. So if they is willing, you know, most of the time they are not even aware that they are holding this anger and um, fear and all that. So once they start realizing it, they will be able to get well.
do they have to necessarily re-experience it in order to get rid of it?
No, they do not have to experience it, but it really helps. Like they don't have to go through the entire nitty-gritty details of the situation that happened in the past. Just to know that this has happened and I'm feeling anger because of this situation. Because often, like the anger is not because of the other person or something. If you keep asking questions like why am I angry, there may be issues of low self-esteem or low self-worth. So the self-love practice also helps. Like we can do that short practice if everybody is okay. Shall we do? Okay. So let's close our eyes. Do some breathing. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now think of 5 good qualities about yourself. Like you're beautiful, you're a good artist, you're a good healer, maybe you're a good parent, maybe you're a good cook, maybe you're a good friend, you're good at sessions, programming. Okay. Now imagine uh, a recent situation or an event which caused you anger or the person. Let's say, now repeat after me. God's blessings be with me and be with you. God's blessings of peace and love be with me. God's blessings of peace and love be with you. God's blessings of peace and love with me. God's blessings of peace and love be with you. God's blessings of peace and love be with me and be with you. God's blessings of peace and love be with me. God's blessings of peace and love be with you. God's blessings and peace of love be with me. God's blessings and peace of love be with you. God's blessings of peace and love be with me. Peace and love be with you. God's blessings of peace and love be with me. Peace and love be with you. Smile gently. Open your eyes with a big, big smile.